Hello, everybody. My name's Jacob Ferguson. Welcome back to my channel. This week, we are reviewing the Rusical of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16, Episode 7, I believe. And category on the runway is Flowers. The queens had to participate in the Sound of Rusic, a parody musical of the Sound of Music. Now, since season 14, they have been doing parody musicals of existing musicals. They did Moulin Rouge in season 14, they did Big Loose last year, and now they are doing this year. And I kind of like the trend of just remaking musicals, but in a drag queen style. So, this is going to be very interesting. Category was flowers, obviously, and so let's just get into it. Starting with the winner and then working our way down, we have Plasma. Plasma got Mh'iya, the Mh'iya type character of the show, and I have to say that she did a really good job. I saw a thing online that was like, well, it was designed for Mh'iya to win, and I couldn't disagree more. I think that it was really designed for maybe one of the Von Scraps to win, or maybe even Saphira's character to win, because if Morphine had gotten that role, she would have completely destroyed it. The thing about it is that these lead roles have always been landing in the bottom. Heaven Bacon in season 15's, Saltine in season 14's. Both of them ended up in the bottom, and one of them almost ended up going home. So, honestly, it's not. I don't think it was designed for Plasma to win. The reason that Plasma won was that she did really well. Though she was not my pick to win, she did really well. I think that she brought the level of energy to Mh'iya that she needed to bring. Her nuances were very Julie Andrews. And even though it wasn't necessarily all good, there were some times where I was like, okay, yeah, she's doing a little bit too much. I could see why she was doing it. So when she won, I wasn't really surprised. That being said, let's move on to her runway. Category is flowers, and she was giving a Hello Dolly inspired look with yellow flowers, and it looked like Dolly Levi, and she also was referencing My Fair Lady. It's weird that we have seen 2 seasons now where somebody references Hello Dolly. It's a go-to for theater queens because it's glamorous, but also is a reference to theater. So, like, when Jinx Monsoon did her saloon look, Alexis Michelle doing her Hello Dolly inspired look, and now with Plasma. Plasma has these older references, which I love. She loves Barbara, she loves Patti LuPone, she loves Julie Andrews. She loves all of these old theater divas that were really popular back in like the 60s and 70s. So she is able to pull that out. The problem is that we have seen this silhouette before, and this would not be something out of the box for Plasma to do. I would even challenge Plasma to go more modern with her look, to try and do something new, but that's just me. Let's move on to Sapphira Cristál. So she was my winner tonight. I loved Sapphira. I chuckled when she was doing her bit. I think the problem was that she definitely was, just like Plasma, sort of tailor-made to fit the role. She played Mother Superior, which, again, she had one of the best moments when Plasma kept on trying to interrupt her. I really could not have seen her as Mh'iya, so I'm glad that Saphira chose Mother Superior. But it is like, you know, if she'd gotten Mh'iya, I would have been saying that about Plasma too. So I really enjoyed her performance tonight. She was giving Sister Act, Whoopi Goldberg. She was really like going for it, and I loved it. I loved her solo that she had. Cream. By the way, Plasma gets two creams as well. Her runway was the best runway of the night. She broke Drag Race for a minute there, as Ross said. Like, I really enjoyed the flower moment. The red and the white, it just was really beautiful and really well done. I'm so glad that she's still in the competition because she took that immunity potion. I mean, I don't think that she would have been in the bottom, but you know, like last week she probably would have been low. But this week she really is shining and exemplifying why she is one of the best. Um, so she gets two creams as well. Let's move on to Q, Avenue Q. Um, so this week she played the Baroness, which I really do think was like a Brooklyn Heights as Ivana moment. Um, Here's the thing. I appreciate what she was trying to go for. The problems. I don't necessarily think that she got a fully. She was just safe in my eyes. I really enjoyed the thing with the stool, like the with the long train and stuff like that. I did enjoy that. But that was about it. And I think that she and Megami could have switched places and Megami would have been in the top too. This part was just a bit part that was supposed to be funny. Which I don't mind. It's just like I would have switched her out for Nymphia Wind. Just because I do think that Nymphia had a better portrayal in the show, but that's just me. Um, Now the runway of Q's tonight, I'm gonna give the performance a cream, but the runway tonight, my God, was it beautiful! She was walking on some of those like things that we saw Evie Oddly doing, and it just so happens that tonight La Grande Dame also wore the exact same type of things, like what creature actors wear sometimes, to get on all fours. I would never have expected this from Q. I'm so glad that she did this because it's showing a different side of her. It's really hard to pinpoint what Q's drag is, and that is a good thing. I think that this alone was why she was in the top. Though I do think that she was just safe for her performance, in my opinion. So good work this week, Q. You did a good job. It is a cream for me on the runway as well. Let's move on to who I think should have been in the top but wasn't, Nymphia Wind. She played Tinsel, one of the Von Scrap family children. Um, and I have to say that she did an okay job. Um, her pinecone bit was really funny. That's why I thought that she was gonna be in the top. You know, when you have a freaky deaky character like that, you know, with like pinecone, she could have been in the top, and it would have made sense for me. Um, she looked really good in the show. I'm getting a lot of winter vibes from Nymphia Wind, as well as Saphira Crystal. I don't fully know yet if who's gonna win in my eyes, if it's gonna be Nymphia or Saphira. Um, but Nymphia definitely is doing it for me. Her runway look was simple but so beautiful. It was this like patent leather, green amorphous blob type thing. And she had a flower on her head, and then she revealed her arms were like little leaves. It was fabulous. Um, it was very beautiful. It's a cream for me. She gets 2 creams as well. I just really think that she is a superstar in this competition. So good job, Nymphia Wind. I'm rooting for you. Next, let's talk about Plain Jane. Plain Jane's kind of growing on me. Like a rash, I guess. But listen, without Amanda here, you can kind of see a softer side of her. I'm not blaming Amanda on why we didn't get to see a softer side. I'm just saying, she has a softer side now. I really enjoyed her this episode because she was playing into her little villain stereotype, which I loved. Her look tonight, let's talk about it. It was Rapunzel. Now, I don't necessarily think that this screams flower, but I get where she was coming from. She looked okay. Like, her face was beautiful, but, like, it was just a Rapunzel dress, so I can't really, like, go. It was the best thing. It's gonna be a soft cream. Her performance in the challenge, I think that she did a really good job. She and Tsunami did a really good job. I really couldn't find a single flaw with theirs, so it's going to be a cream, but I do think that it was just below the mark. So, good job, Plain. Let's move on to Tsunami Muse. She was the other Baroness, and she did really well as well. I think Tsunami's going to get Miss Congeniality, just because she is one of the. I mean, she gave her trip to Spain to Hershey Liqueur Jete. That's amazing. I'm so happy for her. Tsunami definitely embodies congeniality. I think that she's probably gonna get it. It was Hershey for me. I thought Hershey was gonna get it, and then it was Geneva. But now I think it's Tsunami. Her look was great. It was fabulous. It was an upside down bouquet, which I never thought would be on the runway, which I loved. Tsunami's doing it for me. I'm excited to see where she goes from here. But I do think that she missed the mark a little bit on the challenge. I just feel like she was safe. Let's go to Dawn. First of all, she says that she's not a musical theater girl, so that automatically makes me go, really? Okay. And then she badmouths theater girls. I'm like, so she had the role of one of the Von Scraps. I don't remember their names. It doesn't matter. She just was okay. She was in a straight term mid. I'm sorry. I don't necessarily get the feeling that she should have been in the top. But I also don't think that she should have been in the bottom for it. Though she was nearing the bottom for me, she was safe. Um, as for her runway look, I didn't get it, and I didn't like it. I'm usually Team Dawn, but tonight was a kind of misstep for me in the look. She had like blue face paint on, and like she was like, I'm crying and I'm dead and all that. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't like it. Let's move on. Like, don't do something that is so weird that you have to explain yourself, because the judges ain't gonna get that. You're not handing out a pamphlet with every single thing that you're releasing to the world. So it's like, stop. Um, so her look tonight was a crunch. And I'm going to just say it. Her challenge tonight was a soft cream. I'm not going to say it was a crunch because there were some good parts in there, though I can't really remember most of them. She just was mid. She was mid. I'm sorry. She was. Maybe next week she can pull through, but I don't know. Let's go to the bottom three, starting with Morphine Love Dion. So she had the role of one of the other nuns, and she got this role kind of by default after Plasma took the role. Um, I have to say that she did okay. Though I don't really hesitate to remember exactly what she did, or any of the bottom three really did, besides Mh'iya, but I'll get into that. I really enjoyed Morphine's look on the main stage. She looked nice. And her runway look wasn't bad either. I really enjoyed her Flower Child LSD trip look. My brother had said something and he said, "You can use this tomorrow." And I can't remember exactly what it was. So we're going to move on from that. But, you know, I think that Morphine is falling behind. And I would not be surprised if we saw her in the bottom two at some point in the near future. I don't think that necessarily she's going to win at this point. I'm sorry. I think that Morphine really is one of the side characters who's getting a little bit of screen time, but not much. Even though I think she has the most confessionals out of all of them, it's like she's here, but we're not really acknowledging her. And now that we're reading out all of the like contestants that I think now we have fully come to the middle of the pack at 10. Now that we're reading out the bad contestants, it's like, well, Morphine, you're not living up to the hype, sis. So get to stepping. Sorry. Anyway, I give her runway a cream and her performance a crunch. I don't remember anything that she did, so I'm sorry about that. Let's move on to Mh'iya Amon LePage. So I have a personal story about something getting in my face. When I was in seventh grade, I played Linus in Charlie Brown Christmas, and I had a blanket and I had to put it over my face. I had to walk off stage. That was just something that I had to do. So I put the blanket over my head, and I walked off stage, and I hit a wall. And so you can't really have things covering your face during a musical. I am so glad that she did not fall and hurt herself. When that happens, you just gotta boom. Good. Immediately, just when that happened, boom. Do that with your arm and then keep on going. Because I think that her performance was not strong enough on its own to warrant her not being in the bottom, but I also think that she could have maybe even been low if she had just gone boom, out of my way, done. Her look tonight was giving Pearl Bailey. I agree. If you don't know who Pearl Bailey is, look her up. She's really awesome. She sang "When You're the Best of Friends" in the Fox and Hound, and the Hound. She was the owl in the Fox and the Hound. That's where the majority of you guys will know her from because that movie is so heart wrenching. Honestly, again, I don't really remember what Mh'iya did during the musical besides get the thing caught in her face. But her runway was nice. So good job, Mh'iya. You landed in the bottom. I'm gonna give her a cream to her runway, crunch to her performance. And finally, it is Megami. And I will miss Megami. I love Megami. I will miss her. Did I think that this was her time? Yeah, I did. Her runway look tonight. Well, let's talk about her challenge performance first. It's a crunch. I'm sorry. I just when we were talking, when my brother and I were talking about what our tops and our safes and stuff were, Megami's name never came up. And I think hiding in the background and being camouflaged is not okay. She just didn't stand out. She faded into the background, and when you fade into the background, the judges notice. So, putting her in the bottom two was the only way to ensure, hey, You're not doing that well. Let's pick up the pace. Um, I think that the her runway look tonight. I agree with the judges that she should have brought down the dress a little bit farther before revealing, but even with the reveal, didn't like it. I think that it needed to be either a full bridal gown or something completely different because it just looked kind of unfinished to me. I enjoy Megami. I love Megami. This was a crunch tonight on the runway and a crunch on the main stage. Sorry. So, Plasma wins the Maxi Challenge. Am I surprised? Not really, because she's a musical theater girly. With Saphira and Q being high, the bottom three are Morphine, Mh'iya, and Megami, and Morphine is safe. Mh'iya and Megami lip sync to Flowers by Miley Cyrus. And I have to say, Megami did do well in the lip sync. She was keeping up. When Mh'iya went full church mode and started doing like the dance, like the spins and stuff, I've never laughed so hard in my life because she was fully doing like what June Jambalaya tried to do, but was succeeding at it. She took her shoes off, and the minute she took her shoes off, just boom. Didn't do any tricks, no flips, no splits, and then she did the fucking belly dive. Immaculate. Like, I think this was the best lip sync that we've gotten all season. I'm hoping that the next couple of lip syncs elevate it. Because let's be real here, the lip syncs that we've gotten from these queens this season have not been very cash money. So I will be very excited to see what happens this season. Next week is Snatch Game, which I am very excited for. Who do you guys think is going to win it? I think that it might be Saphira playing or Mh'iya, but that's just me. And my top four are Plasma, Plain Jane, Saphira, and Mh'iya, with Dawn as a top 5 and Q as the top 6. So that is my top 6 queens. So Morphine and Mh'iya, you got some splaining to do. And Tsunami, you got some splaining to do. But other than that, who are you guys rooting for? Who do you guys love? Let me know down in the comments below. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And thank you guys so much for watching.